all for coming. I know we have a few people who aren't part of the normal NCAA kicking contest crew. So
I got none wrong.
You got none wrong. You didn't get any right either. So this is a contest that has been going on since a fresh-faced, relatively young MTS decided that we need to have a lot more fun at AT&T.
He still is fresh-faced.
Mr. Atherton in 1992 got a bunch of people together to play an NCAA pool. Yes.
I heard that.
Now, this is no money involved. The wonderful prizes are all here. But so let's see. So it's been nearly 20 years we've been doing this.
Oh my gosh, has it really been 19 years now? This is 19?
92 was the first contest.
Wow. Nice going. But he held on to the camera.
I held on to the camera. That's important.
Drop the kid, but don't drop the camera. The kid's got insurance.
I'm not sure how many people were involved in the first contest, but the first contest did generate a few interesting results, which then morphed into prizes that we've given out to people year in and year out. And some of them become quite coveted. Some people have won them multiple times. In fact, the very first prize here is what's known as the Dan Jeske Fuzzy Dice Award, which goes to the person who comes in last. And the very first person to win it was Dan Jeske. And the reason it's lived on in infamy was because you need to know two things about Dan. One, there's a statistician, but there's actually three things you should know about him. One, he's almost 7 feet tall. He's a statistician, and he loves golf. So when we were getting ready to submit our entries that very first year, he was getting ready to go off on a golfing vacation. So we didn't have a lot of time to sort of make his picks. So what Dan did, as a statistician, he said, I know a way to do this. So we decided to use a random number generator to randomly pick his teams. So we did this, and the random number generator was not kind to him. He picked a lot of upsets. And then he did another thing on top of it to save time. He only picked a quarter of the tournament. So we only did 1/4 of the bracket and just replicated that 4 times. So not only was he, behind the 8 ball for his first thing, so needless to say,
all 4 #1 seeds to lose in the first round. And no #1 seed has ever lost in the history of the men's tournament.
and he didn't even do anything like weight the results inversely to the seedings or anything. It was just randomly picking. So the very first award was named after him, and it was given to him, but of course he never played again, I don't believe. So he didn't become the all-time winner of most of these. It goes to this year's winner, who in the 20 years we've given it out, this is his 9th.
Yeah!
Fragile.
Very impressive, very impressive.
Speech! Speech!
For winning so frequently.
Right, so my algorithm is very simple. I first pick Jesuits, then I pick anything that's Catholic, then the Christians, and then the Jews. So, but there aren't that many Jewish colleges.
What about the Muslims?
No, well, what can you say? But anyways, I do have a fair amount of dice in my house. I didn't realize
You have a fair amount of mice in it?
mice in the house.
Yeah, exactly.
So there are actually, I've had the most colorful ones were green with, was it pink polka dots?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Oh, you bought those? I kept those, and they are prominently displayed in my guest bedroom. So thank you, Tom, for that. And thank you, Ed.
You're very welcome. Better luck for same luck next year.
Next year, 50 years first.
That's right.
Now, we move on to this year's award, which is called the Tom Willis Mylanta Award. And this is for the person who usually comes in second, or as we say, came oh so close to winning.
Agonizingly close.
And but Tom, who's won it 6 times or 7 times.
6 or 7.
I can double check that. I have the history here. Tom Willis, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 times.
Almost.
But this year, Tom did not win.
Oh,
Now,
that's a major disappointment.
but I think you gotta actually be happy about this year, Tom, that you did win it. And there's actually a double story here because well, there's 2 parts of the story. Is not only is it a coveted award, it's actually come oh so close. In fact, Ken, who was going to actually be this year's winner, was actually angling for this award.
Trying to get
But it really was a very interesting result because this is the first year we've ever had a tie for first place after all of the games were picked. And we had to go to the score breaker, the tiebreaker, which was picking the combined total score in the final game. Now, he had picked 133 points. Bruce picked 135 points. Both relatively low scores for the total. But this year's final game had the lowest combined score in like 60 years. Yes, in fact, one team is the lowest score in like since the 40s. They shot so poorly. So as I said in the announcement, Ken, life just wasn't good to you. You did not get the Mylanta Award, but in some ways, neither did Bruce, because I went looking to purchase this year's award, and I could not find it.
There's a worldwide shortage of Mylanta. That's amazing.
Yes, there is.
I still got 7 bottles in my house.
This is off the official Mylanta product website.
No way.
April 15th. To our valued customers, thank you for your loyalty. As a result of the recall of the revised product labeling and our ongoing efforts to evaluate processes to make improvements at the Lancaster, PA plant that manufactures the product by Johnson & Johnson's Merck Consumer Pharmaceuticals, JJMCP, Mylanta liquid products are temporarily unavailable. At this time,
I knew that I wouldn't have eaten so much.
At this time, we do not have additional information about when the product will be available in stores. We apologize for any inconvenience this may cause consumers, and we are working diligently to return the products to market. Wow. Now, there's a postscript to this too. It says, we are pleased to inform you that other Mylanta products, Mylanta's gas are in stock at various stores listed here. But I figured I didn't think that would be quite appropriate for the gathering here, so in lieu of your award, you can frame this when you get home.
Whoa, Bruce.
When it becomes available, I will supply you with your actual award.
When UPS shows up with a package with the return address of Ed Rojek,
And if it says liquid inside, you'll know
I'll know
that's
exactly what it is.
I don't know. You might have somebody try to confiscate that, because it is something that's in short supply.
And it turns out then that all 7 bottles that Tom has are poisonous.
They're certainly expired. All right, now finally, we have then to present to Ken the crown.
All right. Yay!
And now, over the
Then
years,
you must stand for the coronation.
Dun, 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 dun.
If you wish, since you are here, Tom is the current holder of the crown. And will be
Long live the king.
long live the king. That's like
It's America.
when I mailed him the crown down in Virginia, and he saw how it had aged not too well over the years, Tom decided to replace the crown with a new crown this year.
Nice job. Bravo, bravo.
How are you going to vouch for that?
Class act you are, Tom.
And in recognition of that, since up until this point it had been known just purely as the crown,
Right.
I proposed to the group, and the group, if you remember, accepted, that we are now naming this the Afferton Award, or the Afferton Crown, just as like football has the Lombardi Trophy, hockey
Can we
has
call
the
it the
Stanley Cup.
Thomas African Crown Affair?
No, because this is actually throughout the entire body of work of the entire Afferton family. Because if you remember, Tom was our first winner. Which we thought, since he put the thing together, we thought that was kind of funny.
And Kimberly was the second winner.
And then the next year, his wife won it. And since then, we've had two of his children playing as part of the crew too. So this is
A little
actually
suspicious.
named
That's
after
why Ed runs it now.
Yeah.
So, and this was then, and this is the
Bejeweled, but
Tom's handiwork.
Be nice, Ed.
I'm trying to keep track of
It's
it.
gonna blow away.
Got it? All right.
It's well protected, huh?
Yeah, well, this was shipped, Tom shipped it to me several months ago. Here we go. All right. And something else we're doing this year, too, to make sure everyone knows who it is. It has been engraved